Hello everybody, welcome back. In my last video we tested to see if you would attract screamers by having a base 50 blocks up, and the answer to that was yes, you did attract screamers, but they didn't scream. So what I decided to test today was I built a realistic base 50 blocks up to see if you could actually have a working player base up there. So I'll give you a quick tour. What I did was I kind of figured, early in game you'd probably have a truck, which now I'm realizing that if I can't even walk in there, a truck won't make it out, so I'd have to modify that, but that's okay. Say I did the garage, and then so the garage is 4 high, and then the supports here are 46 blocks up in the air to make it 50. So if you had a base like this, you would not want to put ladders on the outside or even in the garage, because if they see a ladder, then they would destroy your garage to be able to get up the ladder. So, a good idea to get into this base would be, get some maybe frame shapes to jump yourself up, and then pick up the frame shapes when you're done. So then I did a ladder up here. So I figured now nighttime would be a good idea to test to see if this would actually work, because nighttime's probably when you'd be hiding in your base, doing your cooking or your foraging or whatever you end up needing to do every day. So very basic. Here, I'll turn everything on so we can test it while I talk. I guess, why not? Let's just make some gunpowder, turn that on. So, like I said, very, very basic. This would kind of be your early game starting out base. You'd probably have a couple workbenches, chem lab. It's just decorations. Forges, a cement mixer, workbench, campfire. So it's a very basic, realistic working base. This would obviously be for early game, because once you, I did put glass here so I can't fall down, but I kind of figured if I have a base this high up in the air, I'd want a view, so I put windows in. But anyways, so yeah, like I said, this would be for early game, because you eventually get a working player oven that would replace the need for the campfire, thus generating less heat, and then you would be getting the advanced forges that replace your regular forges that would be generating less heat as well. The chem lab you probably still always need, because you need to make your gunpowder, your first aid things, and gas or oil or whatever. So you'd probably not be able to get away with not using a chem lab, but so this is just to kind of test to see, if you had a base 50 blocks up, would you attract screamers? Would they scream? Would it be possible to actually use this in a real life setting? So like I said, I tried to do it as simple and realistic as possible, not my usual style where it's like, 50 burning barrels and 50 forges, which I actually did take all the burning barrels and forges off the stairwell to nowhere, so that any screamers wouldn't be attracted by all those burning barrels, to give this an actual, real shot on if it would work or not. So I guess we can just watch the sunset while we wait. I'm trying to think, so you'd probably be, cooking, crafting, doing what you want at night, because I personally found that trying to farm or scavenge or do anything at night when I first started was so incredibly painful that I just hid in my base all night. So it was pretty bad. So the one thing though that I was actually thinking about before I made this video is that if you had a base like this, you wouldn't be able to have a farm unless of course you built it on the roof, or I mean maybe you could have it down there, like actually enclosed on the ground somewhere. It depends on if you churn your soil and actually use the soil, or if you use the farm blocks the farm plot blocks, depending on how you do it, because obviously farming in Darkness Falls requires a water source, which you don't need in vanilla. So unless you set something like that, like I said, up on your roof, or maybe make a balcony, but it probably be a better idea to just have it down on the ground. Okay, so I don't see anything yet. Yeah, I'd be tempted to make some more noise, but I mean, really, are you going to be making more noise than what's going on now at night? Probably not. Oh, that looks a little bit better. I see a chicken. And nothing there. Yes, so far. Okay, now it's raining. Wonder why I'm wet when there's a window there. Oh well. Okay, so it's now 1 a.m. game time, and I've been pacing around, checking all the windows, and I still do not see any screamers or anything really at all. So all is quiet so far. Okay, so 2 a.m. game time, and nothing yet, as you can see. So to maybe amp up the test a little bit, maybe at 3 I'll start making some noise and see if we get any visitors. But at this point there's nothing in sight. Like, I don't even know where that little chicken went. Chicken's gone. Okay, so it's 3 a.m. and I am building a dance floor. Not literally a dance floor. I'm laying down some blocks for me to destroy, to try and make some noise, to see if that will attract any zombies kind of in the last hour of nighttime. So far there's nothing yet, but when I'm trying to test bases and I want screamers to come and bring me hordes, I put up a whole bunch of burning barrels and start doing this, and usually it's enough to attract a couple screamers, just a couple, and then they bring in just a couple friends. Alright, so that's more than half the floor destroyed. And let's just take a look. Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to fall out the window there. Even though there's glass, it's that office glass, you can't see it. Alright, let's make some more noise. dance floor is gone. Let's see. Nothing. Well then. Okay. I can make even more noise, or heat, I guess, by putting some burning barrels in here. Which I don't really think that's going to make much of a difference. I mean, at this point, it's pretty safe to say that just with having a very, very basic base, yeah, I guess it would depend on how many forges and campfires you would run. Normally in vanilla, I would have at least 2 campfires and at least 2 or 3 forges. So I guess it would all depend if you're running more. But okay, morning chime, calming music of trying to tell you that everything's going to be okay when you're living through a zombie apocalypse. Alright, well, why don't we just head down, see if there's, oh, okay, I do see a screamer. Let's go back upstairs. Shh. Be very quiet. So I guess I could open the door and watch. Hopefully I don't fall down. Okay, so there are 2 screamers down there smacking at walls, which they will end up doing until you go down there and kill them. Unless they kind of get bored and just go, I've had enough, I'm out of here. See if they scream now. I'm going to call a bunch of them there. The big, mean, angry ones that you wouldn't see early game. So, where did she? Oh, okay, so she gave up and smacking up the wall. So there are 2 screamers there. I mean, could that have been because I was making a bunch of noise at 3 a.m. or were they there the whole time and I didn't see them? But at this point, it still doesn't look like they're screaming. They're just there. So, you know, in the mornings, if you were hiding in your base all night, like I spent my first very long time, could just come here with a gun and actually hit them. Yeah, hitting them would help. Okay, there's one. You could take care of your screamers before coming down, and then that way they, because I'm assuming as soon as they see you, they're going to definitely scream. Oh yeah, and you also wouldn't want your ladder too close to the ground too, because yeah, like I said earlier, if zombies see ladders, they just destroy until they can get to a ladder. So okay, so yeah, we'll need to fix the garage door to get our truck out, or do a bigger garage door, too. But, yeah, what's up? Well, I guess there we have it. A realistic player working base at 50 blocks up in the air. It so far is still working. So, yeah, I mean, it might be because, like, you know, the heat is attracting them, but they're not actually screaming because they can't see you. So that might be the difference on why they're not screaming with that one. Yeah. Alright. Well, maybe I might even start playing around with that a little bit more and see if any other different outcomes come out of it. But I don't know. That's now been 2 tests at 50 blocks in the air, and both tests led to yes screamers, but no screaming. So it may be feasible. And it's actually funny as I'm coming around here looking at all the bases, it's like absolute carnage. It's loot bags everywhere. It's a little funny, but anyways, as always, thank you for watching, and